What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I like to talk about the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, TV shows. If it's geeky, if it's nerdy, this is where I like to talk about it. And right now, I want to talk about The Boys Season 2, Episodes 4 and 5. And I'm not going to really get into a lot of specific plot points here. This is a hot show right now, and a lot of people are wanting to watch it. So I'm just going to kind of give you my thoughts on it. First of all, it's really good. It's really good, but that's no surprise because I really liked Season 1. Season 1 was phenomenal. And Season 2 hasn't dropped the ball. So far, we're halfway through, and it's been hitting all the right beats. And it's been expanding upon this world that they created in Season 1. And when I say expanding, I mean they're spending more time with the celebrity, like exploring the celebrity side of what it means to be a member of the Seven, and the facade, the fakeness that is celebrity life. And they're really also expanding upon the superhero community, creating more superheroes for us to follow. And they're all there must be something in Compound V that turns people into jerks, because that's what we have here. They're all jerks. There's none of them are good except for Starlight. None of them are good. They're all bad people. And that's I don't know how that worked out, but it did. And the worst of the worst is not Homelander. It's not Homelander. It's Stormfront. Stormfront is horrible. She's horrible. And I find it fascinating that you've got this female character who pretends to be SJW, but is extremely racist and bigoted and just a horrible, horrible person at her core. She's this horrible person, but what makes her even more dangerous is, lots of times these racist and bigoted people, they're dummies. She's not. She's incredibly intelligent, and she knows how to play people, and she knows how to get what she wants. She's the type of person who knows what to say to somebody to get them to act the way that she wants them to act. And she knows how to play all the angles. She's out there in public talking poorly about Vought, and then she's behind closed doors, working her own angle with Vought and working on her own angle with members of the Seven, especially Homelander. Guys, Homelander is fascinating again this season. He's this character that so desperately needs affirmation. He desperately needs to feel like he's appreciated, to feel like he's loved. He needs the accolade. All right? He's a guy he's a superhero who wears an American flag on his back, for God's sakes. I mean, he's this guy who needs to be seen. He needs to be seen, and he needs that constant affirmation from others. Stormfront knows this, and what we've seen in the last two episodes, episode 4 and 5, is that Stormfront is using this mental weakness that Homelander has, and he might be the most powerful super physically, and as far as his powers are concerned, he is not the most powerful super mentally, and they're really starting to make that known. And Stormfront is definitely using his mental weakness against him. He's putty in her hands, and she's molding him into who she wants him to be. And it's fascinating to see these two interact. And I don't just mean the interaction that they had at the end of episode 5. I mean just the interaction in general. He's got this disdain for her. You know that he does not like her because of what she represents as a new member of the Seven. But on the flip side, she's manipulating him to get involved with her. It's really fascinating stuff. So, this season so far, the most interesting dynamic doesn't have anything, for me anyways, doesn't have anything to do with the boys. It has to do with Homelander and Stormfront and their relationship. That's not that the boys aren't in it. Obviously, Huey and Starlight, they have a very interesting relationship, and the last couple episodes, we've seen that develop a little bit more. But the one that I'm most worried about is Butcher. I don't know if they know what to do with Butcher's character now. You know, season one, the season was very Butcher driven. It was about him getting vengeance for his wife's death at the hands of the Supes. The Supers. The Supes is Incredibles. Him getting vengeance for his wife's death at the hands of the Supers. Homelander specifically. But now that quest does not need to be completed, and there's been a reconciliation and a break apart of him and his wife, due in large part to the fact that his wife has a son with Homelander, who is a super. I don't know that there's anything to motivate the Butcher character at this point. So, and hopefully they can introduce something new to really drive Butcher and his storyline, but I don't know where they're going to go with it from here. I haven't been interested in where they've taken him. Whenever Butcher's been on screen, I've been kind of, not bored, but I've been, let's get back to Homelander. Let's get back to Homelander and Stormfront. Let's get back to Huey and Starlight. That's what I've been into. There's been a nice little subplot with A-Train and him being forced to retire from the, getting A-Train to have to retire from the Seven, and that's been an interesting subplot. But for me, it's been all about Huey, Starlight, Homelander, and Stormfront. And that's too bad, because Butcher and even like Mother's Milk, you know, the boys is what it's all about. So here in the second half of the season, yeah, I mean, I want to see more Homelander. I want to see more Stormfront. I want to see more of the characters that are really interesting me right now. But my hope is that on the second half of the season, they really start expanding the storylines and making the storylines more interesting for the rest of the boys, because I just haven't been as interested in their storyline as I have been the other storylines. So, but that's just me. Overall, guys, episode 4 and 5 have been great. The whole season has been great so far, and really can't wait to see where they go from here. Starting with episode 6 this week. So what have you thought of The Boys season 2 so far, specifically episodes 4 and 5? Let me know in the comments down below. I've thought that it's been great. Just great. Maybe not quite where season 1 is yet, but right underneath there. They really need to stick the landing as far as the boys themselves are concerned. But, again, let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me here at the Oki Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.